everyone! Ito na naman po ang inyong gurong vlogger ng Kuwait, and this time, the Group 5 mailers will be the one to express their thoughts and opinions about our topics in media and information literacy. So check this out!
Media controls every aspect of our life. From the very moment we wake up, our mornings consist of the following: scrolling, liking, retweeting, watching videos online, posting updates on our Facebook, scouting breakfast options and recipes, and catching up with friends. Within the hours of the afternoon, we post pictures on Instagram, share cat pics online, plan meetings, schedule interviews, and make phone calls and business reservations. Evening falls and we're settling into bed, finalizing our tweets, posting funny videos online, browsing through articles upon articles, and setting playlists up to match the alarm we have for the next morning. And the cycle repeats, again and again and again. The endless loop of rewarded satisfaction, all through the tap of a screen. Safe to say, social media has slowly become a part of our life. From the news we read to the entertainment we watch, the key of communication has opened the door to a brand new medium. A simplified system of social significance, subscriptions delivered right at our doorstep. But one surely has to ask, how does this affect us? And how does social media portray our livelihood as it is today? How does this influence the information that travels across the World Wide Web? Well, let's talk about it.
Hey guys, good afternoon. So welcome to our vlog of our group Media and Information Literacy. So to begin this vlog, I'm going to be answering two questions, which are what is social media and how is information spread? So to begin with, what is social media? Social medias are websites and applications that enables users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So how does information are spread? So during this time, especially this generation, it is so easy to spread news. We have the internet, first of all, we have telephones, we have, back then there are newspapers, and many more ways to spread information. And to further explain this part of the vlog, group mates, you're next.
The world we live in has an array of different platforms that we humans on a daily basis live off on. From Instagram to Facebook to Twitter to Snapchat, we use these platforms as a place of solace, a place where we can become a version of ourselves, where we can be whoever we want to be. Not only are we dependent on these outlets, we use these as an extension of ourselves, a place filled with multitudes of knowledge that we can get our hands on. From education to news, to simply knowing what your neighbor next door posted, to what your aunt from countries away shared. Now, what are these information highways, these mediums of ever-spreading knowledge? Here is a list of different platforms that you may be familiar with. Hey guys, so it's Rizal, and today we'll be talking about social media and the different types of social media. Now first, what are these social media platforms, and basically what are they? How many are they and what are their uses? First we got Facebook, the OG, probably the first social media platform I was introduced to. We got Instagram, we got Twitter, TikTok, and all that jazz, right? But what are the different types? So first we'll be talking about social networking platforms. Now, what are social networking platforms? Well, judging by the name, it is an online platform which people use to build social networks or social relationships with other people who share similar personal or career interests, activities, backgrounds, or real life connections. Example of this would be Facebook, WhatsApp, and Viber and Skype. Now, secondly, we got microblogging platforms. Now, a microblog is a short piece of content designed for quick audience interactions. Now, a microblogging platform is a combination of instant messaging and content production. With a microblog, you share short messages with an online audience to improve engagement. Examples of this would be Twitter, pieces of information that can either be gossip, news, the new trends, hence micro blogging. Next would be photo sharing platforms. Now, this is quite straightforward. Photo sharing. Photo sharing websites allow users to upload their images to share with their online friends or the entire web. Examples of this would be, as you all know, we got Instagram sharing food, the new thing. Oh, I got a new outfit. We got it. We're hanging out with the friends, with the boys, with the homies. And second to last, video sharing platforms. This website lets people upload and share their video clips with the public at large or to invited guests. Now, one of the main things that pops up to my head is YouTube. It's the place where we browse different videos, looking at content creators, YouTubers, animators. It's a place where literally everyone can share what they want. We also got TikTok. As we all know, TikTok's been the greatest trend right now. All these different trends, this people hopping up, and Vimeo. Lastly, we got crowd community platforms. Members can share their thoughts, ideas, and concerns. This process is sometimes referred to as community engagement. So examples of this would be Reddit, 4chan, Imgur, all these websites where people come together, anything that they can talk about. Now, as we all know, these platforms share different types of purposes, not only to share information, to share capabilities, their talents, but literally everything. These platforms, these social media platforms, is one of the most greatest inventions we have right now. These media platforms help us to expand anything really. Well, that's all the types of social media platforms. See you later!
Hi, my name is Romances Tambaga. Now I'll be talking about a study done by the University of Pennsylvania examining how social media use causes fear of missing out. Psychologist Melissa Hunt led the study. She explained that using less social media than you normally would leads to significant decreases in both depression and loneliness. These effects are particularly pronounced for folks who were more depressed when they came into the study. Hunt suggests that the reason for feeling depressed after spending too much time on social network boils down to comparison.
My name is Rin Elijah, and now we will be talking about physiology, where brain chemistry leaves us craving for more likes. So, neuroscientists who have specialized knowledge in the field of neuroscience are studying the effects of social media on the brain and finding that positive interactions, like let's say someone liking your post, sharing your post, or hearting your tweets, these positive interactions trigger the same kind of chemical reaction, which is caused by serotonin rushing through the brain, much akin to gambling. And according to an article by Harvard University researcher, namely Trevor Haynes, when you get a social media notification, your brain sends a chemical messenger called dopamine, along with a reward pathway, which makes you feel enlightened, let's say, or feel good. Dopamine is associated with food, exercise, excitement, gambling, thrill-seeking, and now even in social media. Psychologist B.F. Skinner first described this in 1930s when rewards are delivered randomly in like slot machine or positive interaction on social media platforms, and checking for reward is easy. Dopamine triggering behavior becomes a habit.
Oh, what's up? So, I'm gonna talk about pros of social media, the type of pros that there are. So, the first pros I'll be talking about is you could talk to people from afar who live like far from you, which means, for example, loved ones, families, and friends, they live in different countries. You could just use your phone, you could use a laptop, any any device that you have that has social media, you could use that. You could use it and you could contact them anytime that you want, any place, and yeah. Oh, hey. So the second pros that I need to discuss about is that the use of social media can strengthen the bond that you have with your other fellow friends. For example, you go to college, you don't have any more communication with your friends. Use social media to get in contact with them and still create the bond that you guys have and even strengthen it more, because the moment you lose your friends, the moment you lose in contact with family members, that's just sad, and yeah, no one wants to do that. So oh, the last pro that you need to know is social media can be used as well for important researches. Now that we're doing the ODL, we have a lot of researches coming up. That's why you could use social media as one of the ways to get information.
Hi, what's up? I'm Patrick Rivera. I'm gonna be discussing about the pros of using social media. Okay, first off, we all know social media has a lot of pros of using it. First is social media helps us ease the loneliness of people who feel socially isolated. We could communicate with others whenever we feel isolated and lonely. Okay, second is promotes compassion and empathy. Just like how people could ease their pain of loneliness with the use of social media, other people would also be able to show their compassion and sympathy for someone through social media. We could reach out to someone and help them ease their pain that they're feeling, and vice versa. We would be able to feel the compassion and understanding from someone whenever we need. And lastly is promote social changes. Social media can bring people closer to your cause by creating meaningful relationships and inspire people to come together and take action. We're able to spread awareness to people in order to help them realize and have a better understanding on the matter at hand. As well, as we all know, social media is a good way of sending and receiving information to people. You would be able to reach many people through the use of social media. That's all for my vlog. Thank you for listening. Bye.
You've already heard the pros being explained by David and Patrick. Well, now, me and Oliver will explain the cons of using social media. So, just like the pros, there are 6 cons of social media. The first one is fake news. At least some of us, or a lot of us, use at least 2 to 3 social media apps such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. to learn about the latest news from the outside world. And most of the time, there's always fake news involved in them. Like such as if we want to learn about the coronavirus pandemic, there's gonna be a fake news saying the pandemic is finally over, they found a vaccine, something like that. And it's not true at all, because it's not talked about in famous news channels such as CNN. So that's what makes it fake news. If they don't talk about it, then it's fake news. And the second con is doubting your judgment. Whenever you know someone posting something inappropriate in social media, such as a picture of themselves half naked, or something, or a negative comment in Twitter, etc., then you're gonna start judging them because why post something inappropriate? But then when you get to meet them in person, they're not as inappropriate as they are in social media, because not everyone acts the same in social media and real life. So that's when you start doubting your judgments. And then the third one is triggering your insecurities. So social media can trigger your insecurities because whenever you post something on social media, people you know or even random strangers that somehow stumble into your account will start making fun of you and your post. Well, this is a very common thing to some people, but this can trigger your insecurities and it will make you not as confident as you were with your account, because you'll think that more people in the future will start making fun of you. So this is why social media can trigger your insecurities. So yeah.
Now that you have heard the first three cons from Abdallah, I'll be explaining more cons about social media. Next is, it can be psychologically damaging to your mental health. Social media can affect our mental health because it can increase the risk for depression, anxiety, loneliness, self-harm, and even suicidal thoughts. And using your social media as escape from the problems you have instead of facing your problems in reality. So this is how you get depression or any self-harm thoughts from social media. This is why you should be careful on using social media and not be addicted to it. Next is, advertising may create an invasion at your privacy. Due to ads everywhere in social media, it has invaded plenty of people's privacy all over the internet. Lastly is the falling behind task due to procrastination. When you get addicted to your social media accounts, you often procrastinate and just do not have any time for other tasks. That becomes a problem because you cannot pass or you cannot do it in a certain time because you are addicted to social media.
Hey guys, it's Rizal, and now I'll be talking about or giving conclusion about the two things we talked about earlier, the pros and cons of social media. Now, the first pro I'll be talking about is communication. As we know, communication is key, and social media provides us with just that. Now, we can talk to people from afar and or allows us to keep in touch with people from far away from different countries. They're just one click away. It strengthens your existing relationships. Number three, social media helps reduce loneliness of senior citizens who are socially isolated. Number four, it is a platform to support and showcase your talent, crafts, and capabilities. As I said earlier, social media has a wide range of platforms such as social networking platforms, video sharing platforms, photo sharing platforms that you can showcase your talents. Singing, photography, writing, anything you can think of. Next, social media provides academic research to a wider audience, allowing people access to previously inaccessible educational resources. One thing I'd like to point out is Scholarly. Not sponsored, but Scholarly is able to help us be focused on our specific task. Like myself, as a student, Scholarly has greatly helped me in looking for things and or information specifically needed for school. Lastly, it enables you to become an inspiration. As I said earlier, Social media is a platform to showcase your capabilities and talents, and in turn, you will end up being an inspiration for others by doing so. Next, we'll have the cons. Now, the first con I'd like to give a wee bit more importance to, most because this is fake news. Now, fake news has been something that people has been a victim because of it. Misinforming people, sharing information that would lead to severe consequences. One, because people aren't informed and or not able to spot fake news. Second, it makes you doubt your own judgment, which followed by the third con. It triggers your insecurities. Fourth, it can be psychologically damaging. Fifth, advertising may create an invasion of privacy. And lastly, falling behind tasks due to procrastination. Mostly because, again, social media is a platform where you get games, you have these luxuries open to you, all these things to keep you occupied browsing through the internet, forgetting what you need to do for the task at hand. Now, before I end this, I want to say that moderation is key. Using the internet needs a limit. A limit in the sense that you need to know what you need to do. You gotta do what you gotta do. And lastly, curb your tendencies away from social media use and keep in moderation because moderation is key. That's it. Bye bye.
Radio broadcasting. Radio broadcasted thoughts, wherein news previously conveyed to text now holds more substance through a voice. A voice, through the power of media, allows audiences to stay in tune with stations. As these audiences listen to these stations, so do the viewpoints of society take into shape and take a stance into the world being created today. With this, the transmission of music all around the world was put into light, bringing different styles like opera and bluegrass to parts of the world that had never imagined. You've already heard me explaining radio broadcasts. Well, now I'll be explaining its values and norms. So there are three types of values and norms of radio broadcasts, and the first one starts with, it has brought rational stars and unknown talents were discovered. So thanks to radio broadcasts, it has shown unknown talents from artists such as singing and dancing that has made them famous up to date, such as Justin Bieber, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Will Smith, etc. So the second values and norms is, it has brought music and culture from different sports, cooking shows, news, and many more. So radios don't just broadcast music. They have also broadcasted many things, such as cooking shows, sports, news, interviews, and many more. And lastly, it has impacted the people to have more knowledge about the world around them due to the real-time information radio broadcast has provided, which became a variable source of information where reliable news is scarce.
Yes, I've packed up my clothes.
A lot of people nowadays are able to get information thanks to radio broadcast. Like the people of Kuwait and Philippines will be able to learn about the latest news of the United States so that they can be kept updated. So yeah, these are the three values and norms of radio broadcasting.
Lord, I packed up my clothes.
About the values and norms of it. So the values or norms of film media, we all know that it impacted the modern world that we know of right now, and it even helped the economy grow and prosper throughout the years. And it also, the influence in which the film affects society is through giving individual people the opportunity to fantasize and even inspire them about who they want to be, what they want to be. That's it for my topic, and thank you for watching this.
Traditional television has become a national mass media sensation, especially around the 1950s, and became a cultural force during the 60s. That television was one of the most popular products around the time and was considered a crucial outlet in relaying information such as debates, presidency, and more. Not only that, it provided excellent comedic and dramatic shows to vast audiences that might not otherwise have access to them. Around the 1940s and 2000s, commercial television has a profound and wide-ranging impact on society and culture. It influenced the way that people think about such important issues like race, gender, and class, as well as playing an important role in the political process, particularly in shaping national election campaigns.
Hi, I'm Patrick Rivera, and I'm going to be discussing about the values and norms of traditional television. Television influenced many individuals by race, gender, and class. It reshaped many cultures by stereotypes. Traditional television contributed on presenting news, sports, and advertisement and entertainment. On a day-to-day basis, the television keeps us informed with plenty of helpful information and entertainment. Television has been a source of information or communication and media that plays a very significant role in everyone's life. In today's modern society, media has become a very big part of our life. Its duty is to inform, educate, and entertain. Television is like a bridge between the governing bodies, and the general public. It made people more open-minded towards certain issues and applied a new perspective for the people. It broke different barriers such as ethnicity and class, as well as creating a mass media that led to more opportunities to expand entertainment and cultural views. That's all. Thank you.
Today we will talk about the 2000s. Television has evolved from news outlets to different forms of entertainment, sports, talk shows, cooking shows, a button clicks away on our remotes. Like the remote, we were in control of communication portrayed through media. Television has made a big impact on the way we spend our free time. It became a tool to motivate, learn, and increase awareness of public issues. It provides cultural experiences, an experience that in today's age is a luxury. While television is often criticized for isolating people, it can also bring them together, as demonstrated by the popularity of Super Bowl parties and other events in which people congregate around the television.
So today I'll be talking about values and norms. So what of my understanding of values and norms is that it allows viewers to the knowledgeable and contributes to our education through the wide array of documents and information as well. It also gives us a good insight on nature and our environment and political events as well. So it also brings people together. What's up? So the last one, it's basically allows people to be informed of cultural differences and incorporate their values and attitudes as their own. So basically, this whole entire lesson or my topic of values and norms is basically what is it helps us to engage our knowledge and increase our values towards other people and help us learn about more things about culture, about political events and other things such as the documentaries and whatnot. So yeah.
The Internet era, followed immediately after the modern age, brought rise to a new form of communication, more ubiquitous, more global, more out there. Now, think of all the best aspects of previous generations and put it all together. That is the Internet, a conglomerate of all the best and worst things you can think of, capable of manifesting the different forms of media, proving that communication was capable of evolution. In the greater pursuit of knowledge, we innovated information, making it accessible through vast networking systems that cater to us all.
Hey guys, so it's Rizal and I will be talking about the Internet. So the Internet is the biggest worldwide communication network of computers, having millions of smaller domestic academic, business, and government networks, which together carry many different kinds of information. The Internet is a revolution in information technology, and with it has the power to influence individual beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. The Internet caters information to common knowledge that enhances social coordination as individuals readily accept the information given to them, if they believe that others have accepted it and or if the majority have accepted it. This has shaped societal norm and, in a sense, created a hive mind-like mentality that the Internet has given us. The Internet has paved way for other means as well, such as more respect to different cultures, being more aware of the happenings around the globe, and more open to different ethics that can be incorporated in one's value and morals. The internet overall serves as a reminder, a brief glance in the past, if you will. It contributes to both the significance of its origin and values the past that led up to it. It has dramatically revolutionized the information and entertainment industry, and with that, that's a wrap. Bye bye.
From thoughts to words and words to paper, from paper to broadcasts, broadcasting to the people, communication has come so far and stands as a living testament of growth, knowledge, and sheer resolve through the sands of time. Through the medium, we paint out a clear vision of our history as we know it, from the highest of heights down to the lowest of low. It has proven itself vital to us. And now, more than ever, it has become an integral piece of our livelihood. From thoughts to words and words to paper, from paper to broadcasts, broadcasting to the people. This is our history. This is our key. Communication between you and me.
Mass communication, something that we are all familiar with in our everyday life, something that we have integrated in our lifestyle. Everyday life is full of routines and reactions repeated on a daily basis, with media playing an important role in that everyday life. With the development and maintenance of society, mass communication is a goal, an easy gratification society needs and gets in order to function. It creates a study of social change that cannot be done with the contribution it has provided us with. Mass media constitutes a powerful and prevailing force in our lives, and in that creates a sense of wholeness that fulfills the needs of each and every individual. We are exposed to a bombardment of information, and society itself thrives on that information. And to keep it up, we must adjust repeatedly. The information we get about our community, the countries far away, solidifies our role in this world, which can be seen and spread through different forms, such as newspapers, television, videos, a simple Google search, or a scroll in Facebook. Mass communication is everywhere. Information, trends, and communication. These are all prevailing contributions that mass media has offered us, and in turn, greatly impacted the attitudes towards people, events, and problems. But is mass communication all that great? Or do these addicting placeholders create docile people, unable to think for themselves, sucking in even more souls to create a cycle in which the majority are deeply reliant on this form of gratification and need only fulfilled by mass media. So, that's what we'll be tackling on mass communication and its effects on the development of society.
To start off this vlog, I'll be explaining the reasons and impacts that have affected the development of the society with the help of mass communication. So, with the help of mass communication, it is able to keep the people of the society updated. Let's say, for example, is when people are outside of their home country for vacation, to study abroad, to work abroad, or many other reasons for them to be outside of their country, they can be able to learn more about their own home country or any other country in the world's latest news with the help of technologies such as social media apps, radios, televisions, and many more, which were not a thing back then, because back then they would only rely on newspapers. So thanks to mass communication, people around the world can learn more about every country's latest news with the help of technologies. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Patrick Rivera, and I'm gonna be discussing about the role of mass communication in our daily lives and in the modern society. It's quite evident to all of us that mass communication has become an essential part of everyone's life. It plays a big role in the life of the society. They inform, educate, and entertain people. The newspaper, magazine, radio, television, and internet are examples of mass communication that we use today. It greatly affects our lives because media has power to influence our thoughts and opinions. They also influence the way people look at the world and make them change their views. Mass media plays a very important role in organizing public opinions. It educates the people to know about their basic rights and how to use them. It made it possible for everyone to obtain information about anyone and anything almost instantly. In the modern world, the array of media has influenced the idea of people, decision-making process, and the way that people think. And we are able to reach out to a lot of people and inform and spread awareness about a certain concept that needs to be addressed. Thank you. That's all for my blog.
Hello, so now I'll be talking about the influence of mass media and mass communication. These effects could include an individual's or an audience's thoughts, attitudes, or behavior. Whether it is written, televised, or spoken, mass media will always reach a large audience. Mass media's role and effect in shaping modern culture are central issues for study of culture. The influence of mass media has an effect on many aspects of our lives, whether it is our individual views or beliefs, or even skewing our own knowledge about a certain topic because we were provided false information. The overall influence of mass media has increased drastically over the years, and will continue to do so as media itself improves. Although, as mass media evolves, media criticism also will evolve together with it and grow in strength. During the times of media change, with new forms of journalism, new forms of formats, new media markets, new ways of addressing media markets, and even new media technologies. Media influence is an actual force given by a media message, which can result in either a change or reinforcement in the audience's or individual's beliefs. These effects come from the message itself, and whether it has an effect on the audience will be contingent on many factors, including the demographics or the psychological characteristics of the audience. These effects can be positive or negative, abrupt or gradual, short-term or long-term. Although these effects not all of these effects can result in change, and some media can give messages that reinforce an existing belief.
Hey guys, good evening. So for my part of the vlog, I'll be discussing about how did mass communication affect the culture that we have right now. So we all know that communication on a mass level gives the sender of a message the power to alter certain things or even introduce new things that might affect the cultural dynamics of a society, and we all know it can't happen in isolation. And we also know that one of the reasons why mass communication is so powerful is because of its influence that it can give to people or to a country. Let's set this country as an example that we live in right now, Kuwait. We all know that Kuwait many years ago, they weren't like this. There weren't many buildings, there weren't many cars, and etc. and so on. But look at it right now. As time passed by, now Kuwait is one of the richest Middle East countries in the world. So how did they basically transcend? How did they basically leveled up to what they are right now? Basically through one of the reasons is the mass communication. They were influenced, they were brought new things, they had new ideas, new thoughts, and so on. So what I can say about mass communication is that it can be a very powerful tool, not only for the people, but for the culture, for the people that lives in it, and even for the whole nation. So that's it for my part. I hope you understand something and you learn something, and take care guys. Enjoy.
Hey guys, now I will talk about some of the positive and negative effects of mass communication. Some of the positive effects of mass communication is using television or other TV programs. It may inform other people and educate them. Well, another is it makes our world smaller. By how? By sharing, it helps us connect to different kinds of people, and yeah, that's a lot for positive effects of mass communication. It can really help us about our everyday life, and yeah. Well, now we got the positive. Next is the negative effects. Well, mass communication is really good. It has also negative kinds of things. The first is it makes us depressed, and it also gives us anxiety. When we see a lot of bad news and things on social media, makes us more stressed to things. That's one of them. Next is it decreases attention to schoolworks. When we get addicted to some of the medium of mass communication, makes us more focused there and more addicted to it. Then we cannot do some of our projects, some of our homeworks and assignments, and that's when our grades go low. Well, that's it. That's it for the positive and negative effects of mass communication. Bye guys!
Hey guys, my name is Rain Elijah Flores, and I will be talking about the different morals, values, beliefs, and attitudes we acquire due to mass communication. So, as we have previously discussed, mass media has an effect on many aspects of human life, which can include morals, individual views and beliefs, or skewing a person's knowledge of a specific topic due to, let's say, being provided with different types of information. Let us not forget that though principal values may have foundational values, it is the psychological values that are more subjective than objective, that influence the individuals and the society as a whole. And it is the media alone that has a crucial, or rather critical role in defining these. That's all. Thank you.
So by the year 2000, 6 corporations had control over mass media, and today 5 of them have dominated the industry, which are Time Warner, Disney, Murdoch's News Corporation, Brettels of Germany, and Viacom. All these are branching rapidly into the international territories. These few companies are increasingly responsible for deciding what information is shared around the world. So without these, we'd probably get our news from somewhere else, but thanks to all of these, they're giving us an easier time into getting our news and spreading media across the world.
As we can see, media has become integral to our society. Business corporations banking off the success that social platforms garner, and upstart influencers on the rise to become the new face of the masses. Life, as we know it, has changed through the decades. Ideals, opinions, and thoughts convey itself through a medium that can reach across nations, bringing rise to televisions and radio stations. Mass communication serves as a perspective, a glance deep into the glasses of the world processing the fastest. Information to the masses, communication that surpasses. Striving for success in a world of media is no easy work. From the different complications to the various problems we might encounter, the room for error has broadened widely, and it ought to be our job to narrow everything down to what we can understand. From the different perspectives of functionalism and interactionalism, to the media democracies within our informational societies. Let's take a closer look at society's role, a theoretical approach.
Media. Media is a reflection of our society, and it depicts what and how society works. Media, whether it is printed, electronic, or on the web, is a medium. It is a medium that helps us in staying informed. It entertains the public, educate, and make people aware of the current happenings surrounding us. Media plays a vast role in our society, and with it, different ways are used to approach these. Theoretical ways wherein one can examine the variety of ways people use technology and media. Media could refer to the television we watch, the ads we see in different places, billboards, or the magazines we see in the doctor's or dentist's office. Not to mention there are different forms of media, such as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and the like. Moreover, there are different roles that each of us play in contributing, distributing, and receiving information society. Now, there are two approaches that we will be talking about, the theoretical approach and the roles that we have in media society.
To start off this fourth vlog, I'll be explaining the first two types of functionalism, which are commercial functionalism and entertainment functionalism. So what is commercial functionalism? It is the easiest way to show people your products, which they might find of interest and will be able to buy them. Some companies that want to connect with consumers find television an irresistible platform like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Colgate, etc., which, like I have already said, is one of the easiest ways for them to connect with the consumers through media. And for some commercials, they depend on what channel you are watching. Like for example, if you are watching a cartoon channel such as Cartoon Network, Disney, Nickelodeon, etc., then the commercials playing there will be either a Happy Meal toy, cards, or other cartoon shows which will be able to get the kids' attention and interest. Next is cooking shows. They will either be playing possibly a short cooking ad from one of the greatest chefs in the world, known as Gordon Ramsay. And then lastly, movie channels. The commercials that will be playing on that channel will be either a movie that will be showing next or a movie that will be on theaters very soon. So those are commercial functionalisms, so let's get straight to entertainment functionalism. So the next functionalism I'll be talking about is entertainment functionalism. So what is entertainment functionalism? Most people find it entertaining to watch television, depending on what are their preferences. Like for example, if they prefer watching news channels, then they can watch CNN or many other news channels. If they prefer movie channels, then they can watch movie channels which are too many to name. And then lastly, if they prefer cartoons, they'll be able to watch Cartoon Network, Disney, Nickelodeon, and many more, which they can gladly enjoy with their friends and family. So, apart from watching TV, they can be able to play online video games where they can play with other players around the world, or even watch Netflix if they are away from home. So whenever you're home or not, there are still many ways for you to be kept entertained with the help of media. So these are the first two functionalisms, and the other two will be explained by Patrick.
Hi, my name is Patrick Cabrera, and I'm going to be talking about social norm functions and life-changing functions. Let's get started with social norm functions. Even while the media is selling us goods and entertaining us, it also serves to socialize us, helping us pass along norms, values, and beliefs to the next generation. In fact, we are socialized and re-socialized by media throughout our whole lives. All forms of media teach us what is good and desirable, how we should speak, how we should behave, and how we should react to events. Media also provide us with cultural touchstones during events of national significance. It is clear from watching people emulate the style of dress and talk that appear in media that media has a socializing influence. What is not clear is how much socializing influence the media has when compared to other agents of socialization, which include any social institution that passes along norms, values, and beliefs, such as peers, families, religious institution, and the like. Next is life-changing functions. Without a doubt, a manifest function of technology is to change our lives, sometimes for the better, and sometimes for the worse. Think of how the digital age has improved the way we communicate. Have you ever used Skype or another webcast to talk to a friend or a family member far away? Or maybe you have organized a fund drive, raising thousands of dollars, all from your desk chair. Of course, the downside to this ongoing information flow is the near impossibility of disconnecting from technology that leads to an expectation of constant convenience, access to information, and people. That's all for my blog. Thank you.
Conflict perspective. In contrast to theories in the functional perspective, the conflict perspective focuses on the creation and reproduction of inequality, social processes that tend to disrupt society rather than contribute to its smooth operation. When we take a conflict perspective, one major focus is the differential access to media and technology embodied in the digital divide. Conflict theorists also look at who controls the media and how media promotes the norms of upper middle class white people in the United States, while minimizing the presence of the working class, especially people of color.
So for today, my topic is control media and technology. I'll be talking about that as well as technological and social control and the digital surveillance. So let's start off with control media and technology. So the media is an incredible powerful and strong way to send information to any specific person, and it's basically used all over the world, and it's used to give information to any type of society, any group of people. It's basically how we get news or like information. Any organization that controls the mainstream media has incredible power in their hands, and of course by having that power, it changes how we think about that specific topic and how we perceive and think about the world we live in. So yeah, an image recording the system and method for use with the surveillance system, having at least 2 cameras provided through per event. So what I'm talking about here is the digital surveillance that technology uses in controlling the media. So recording from multiple input sources to improve video and demand, which will make us more safer in a way. And more specifically, an image recording subsystem is connected to the camera, receiving generated videos and information, storing it in a temporary storage device, and having a capacity to keep us more safer. And it has enough storage to guide us and to watch out for us. And these surveillances will only be generated over a predetermined period of time. So it's pretty quick and pretty fast. So yeah, so that's my take on my lesson or on my topic, which is control media and technology, as well as social control and digital surveillance in the technology. So thank you.
Another example of the conflicting perspectives is the feminist perspective. If we take a look at popular television shows, advertising campaigns, and online game sites, in most, women are portrayed in a particular set of parameters and tend to have a uniform look that society recognizes as attractive. Most are thin, white, or light-skinned, beautiful, and young. Why does this matter? Feminist perspective theorists believe that the idealized image is crucial in creating and reinforcing stereotypes. For example, research found that online female avatars conforming to gender stereotypes enhance negative attitudes towards women. The gender gap in tech-related fields such as science, technology, engineering, and math is no secret. In 2011, the U.S. Department of Commerce report suggested that gender stereotyping is one of the reasons for this gap, which acknowledges the bias towards men as keepers of technological understanding. But gender stereotypes go far beyond the use of technology. Press coverage and media reinforce stereotypes that subordinate women. It gives airtime to look-over skills, and coverage disparages women who defy accepted norms.
Symbolic interactionism. Technology itself may act as a symbol for many. The kind of computer you own, the kind of car you drive, your ability to afford the latest Apple product. These serve as a social indicator of wealth and status. Neoludites are people who see technology as a symbolizing the coldness and alienation of modern life. But for technophiles, technology symbolizes the potential for a brighter future. For those adopting an ideological middle ground, technology might symbolize status or failure. The two categories that constitute symbolic interactionism is social construction of reality and social networking and social construction.
Hey guys, my name is Elijah Flores, and now I will be explaining to you the social construction of reality. So, media create and spread symbols that become the basis for our shared understanding of our society. Now, theorists working on, or rather in the interactionist perspective, focus on this social construction of reality, an ongoing process in which people subjectively create and understand reality. Media constructs our reality in numbers of ways. For some, the people they watch on screen can become a primary group, which means that the groups of people who are closest to them. And for many other people, media becomes like some sort of reference group, which is a group that influences an individual and to which an individual compares himself or herself, and by which we judge our successes and failures. For example, a new phone releases and suddenly people say that they're not interested in this type of phones, and one day this classmate of ours came into class with this new phone, and suddenly everyone likes or wants one of this kind of phone. While media may indeed be the medium to spread the message of what rich white males Gamson, Croteau, Hoynes, and Sasson point out that some forms of media discourse allow competing constructions of reality to appear. For example, advertisers find new and creative ways to sell us products that we don't need and probably wouldn't want without prompting. But some networking sites such as FreeCycle offer commercial-free way of requesting and trading items that would otherwise be discarded. We know that the web is also full of blogs chronicling lives lived off the grid or without participation in the commercial economy.
Hi guys, now I will talk about social networking and social construction. So first, what is social networking? Social networking is the use of internet-based social media sites to stay connected with friends, families, colleagues, customers, or clients. So, social networking can have a purpose, which is a business purpose or a personal purpose for your life. Some of the examples of these sites are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other kinds of platforms that are always used. So there are two things on what defines major social networks today, which are natural stratification and sheer popularity. So that is the two social networks definitions. Next is social construction. So, what is social construction? Social construction relies on processes of socialization where individuals learn and internalize customs, habits, and values. So, in social construction, there are three main periods of socialization, which are primary, secondary socialization, and the reality maintenance. So that's it guys for social networking and social construction. Social networking is the use of internet-based, and social construction relies on processes of socialization. That's it guys. Bye guys.
Media democracy. Mainstream media is a place where anyone can contribute to important issues and topics of discussion. Media democracy encompasses this idea by advocating for ideas such as free and independent press. An overarching goal is to achieve a free, open, and accessible internet for everyone, thus creating a diverse space for media ownership from all walks of life to contribute into a larger collective without suppression. Such campaigns include freedom of the press, broadband access, net neutrality, and media consolidation.
I'll be discussing media and democratization in information society. As it stands today, we can confidently say that social media is a platform made by everyone and caters to everyone. We can post freely about whatever we want, wherever we want. Different categories make up the different districts within the virtual society. There's the mainstream media, where most represent the base idea of large corporations and support the idea of governments. The alternative media on the other hand, tends to be the non-commercial projects that advocate the interests of those excluded from the mainstream. So, for example, there are the poor, the political, and the ethnic minorities, like the labor groups and LGBT identities. It is these diverse groups that complete the pieces to our puzzle.
We'll also now be talking about the cultural spread of media and screen culture. So in modern society, information becomes an industrial project, and its production is one of the types of industry. Information and communication technologies are becoming one of the main sources of labor and productivity and power. Knowledge of information makes it possible to control a society and to influence the public consciousness. Although in modern society, a new type of information culture is formed called the screen culture of communication, which allows one to conduct a dialogue with people living in all parts of the world. Screen culture contributes to the formation of thinking and harmonization of ourselves. The introduction of information and computer technologies contributes to the active development of the world economy, which influence the formation of a global information society. It is confirmed by the existence of the World Wide Web or the Internet, which allows at any time to contact an organization or person living anywhere in the world. So the active implementation of information, communication, and computer technologies in the life of modern society is ambivalent in its nature. There is no doubt that the implementation and spread of information in modern society has brought other positives, such as new structures were formed with new ways of providing information, like the e-government, public services, and digital and interactive television. Information also has a lot of impact in the modernization process, especially in the social sphere, politics, and culture, and has become one of the main resources of economic development. Although knowing the positive changes, there are also negative changes added to the implementation of information technologies, such as the number of crimes in the field has increased, and the negative information in the internet has also increased.
Although long-winded and with such precise detail, media continues to be used by everyone within society. It has proven itself worthy to fit into societal norms, integrating itself into both casual and professional use. It has served as a freedom of expression, now more than ever at such a time like this. Striving for success in the world of media is no easy work. But with these little supporting bits of information, the venue of media literacy has opened itself up for us. And all we have to do is let ourselves take the first approach.
So there you go, mga ka-JVikers. You have heard the opinions of the Group 5 mailers ng Anak ni Rizal. So if you want also to share your opinions and comments, please use the comment down below. And don't forget to ring the notification bell in order for you to be notified if I have new videos to come. So once again, ito po ang inyong gurong vlogger ng Kuwait. Sasabi sa inyo, subscribe now, laugh, and learn later. So once again, maraming salamat po. God bless everyone and always keep safe.